Well, very good morning, guys. Okay, fine. So last day we have been discussing about the timer control, the dock property, image viewer, all these things I was just showing you in the last session, correct? Yeah. So we just been talked about various things yesterday in our discussion. Okay, fine. Today where we stopped at, we just want planned it like we want our yeah, it has to start you a full screen slideshow, right? It has to start a full screen slideshow. When that should happen when I click on the start slideshow button. When I click on the start slideshow button, it should first go for a full screen slideshow. How to do that is, listen. It's loading here, right? Loaded. Okay. So we click on load images here, choose a folder. And when I click on the start slideshow, what should happen first? First, it has to come to a full screen size. It has to come to full screen size now. Okay, it automatically should expand the size. Okay, it has to come to a full screen size. I'll tell you how to come to a full screen size. But see right now, just before I maximized it now. When I click on the start slideshow, slideshow is playing. Slideshow is playing. That's fine. But still, if you want to come to full screen, the panel which is present in the left hand, right hand side is an obstacle now. Are you getting me? The panel which is present in the right hand side is an obstacle now. The first, that panel should not be present. Are you clear? And when should happen? When I click on the start slideshow button. See what I'm doing now. I'll go to the start slideshow button here. Okay, I'll go to the start slideshow button. And here we call the timer one dot start. Correct? before you call timer 1.start, what I'm going to do, panel 1 dot width is equals to 0. I'm making the width of the panel as 0. Guys, is the panel docking to the right now? Yes or not? When I say width 0, automatically it becomes 0. And it will go to the right side. It will go to the right side. That means it will become 0 and goes to the right side now. So because it is going to the right, see all of you. See, yeah. Did you notice it? Yes or not? But now we have a problem. What is the problem? How to stop the slideshow? Stop button is not there. Array, stop button is not visible to you. Stop button is not there now. If the stop button is not there, I cannot stop the slideshow. Is it clear? I cannot stop the slideshow. That's why, did you notice it in the real time anytime? Escape key is used to stop the slideshow. What we use? When you click the escape key, slideshow stops. Correct? So, means what is that? When I use my escape key, the slideshow has to stop there. How to do that? How can I do that? Watch. But actually, to stop the slideshow, this button should be clicked. Correct or not? Yes or not? Now see, if you go to the properties of the form, all of you carefully, properties of the form. In the properties of the form, guys, you'll have a button called, you have a property called as accept button. What is that? When you select this property, it will show you all the buttons present on your screen. Showing you, see? You can select any one button here. You can select any one button here. Any button. What will happen, sir, if I select? What happens is, read the description, guys. No, sorry, not that. Read. The button you select there will be mapped with the enter key now. So whenever you click on the enter key, automatically that will be. Just to see login forms, you enter the user ID, you enter the password and click on the enter, it will log in, correct? The reason is login button is mapped with the enter key. Login button is mapped with the enter key. Same way that the property called, read it. Which key? It's mapped with the escape key now. See, Microsoft plays with your things, plays in the sense, it'll provide you as simple as it. Operating system is Microsoft. Application development is from Microsoft. It can do anything now. Are you clear? So it will map off your buttons now. Which button shall I select? Stop. Now, when you click on escape, stop button gets clicked there and the slideshow has to stop there. Is it clear? Click on load images. Start. Slideshow is going on. See now every 3 seconds it is changing the image. Now when I use my escape, slideshow stops there. Slideshow stopped there. See, it's not going forward. But fine, but where are the panels? Once the slideshow stops, the panel should come back again. Yes or not? Once the slideshow stops, the panel should come back again. Okay? So, what should be the width of the panel? It's original width only. Right? What should be the width of the panel, guys? It's original width. What is original width? Let's go to the properties window and check it out. What is the original width of the panel? So go to the size property, in that you'll see the width. The width is 365. 365. Now coming back in the stop. Okay. See, for start, you do it before start. For stop, you do it after stop. After stopping, You're setting the width now. What? Panel 1 dot width is equals to 365. The 0 is a reset to 365 again. Okay. Run now. Start. The slideshow is going on. And let me click on the escape. Got it? Yes or not? If that is the case, then what is the point of showing the stop button on the screen now? Can the user click on the button? When do you click on the button? Tell me. Only after start. But when you start, that is not visible to the user at all. Can the user directly click on the stop button? Tell me what? Actually, yeah. Can the user click on the stop button? No. Then what is the point of displaying this on screen now? What is the point of displaying this on screen? Displaying the stop button on the screen is going to be invalid now. Why? When the user cannot click on that, that's why see in any of your slideshow apps or any of the things, you'll never find a stop button at all. Are you clear? So what I'm doing now is I am just trying to make the visibility of this button as false. The button has a property called visible. So let me go to the properties of the button, visible false. So when it is visible false means developer sees, but end user doesn't see the button. Oh, sorry, I set it for panel, I think. I set it for panel, guys. Sorry, not for the button. Yeah, select the button, visible false. Not visible now. And click on the load images. Okay, click on the load images, just got loaded. And you see start. The slideshow is going on. Now when I click on the escape, slideshow should stop there, correct? So escape. And I did not stop here. Slideshow is going. I clicked on escape. But still it is going on. Why, sir? Events will never fire. Events will never fire when the state of the control, when the visibility of a control is false. You set the visibility false now. Because the visibility is set as false, the event is not firing now. Understood my point or not? But I don't want to see the button. I don't want to see the button. Okay, we'll do one thing. Watch it here. When you click on the start button, what will happen? Panel width will become 0. What will happen? Panel width will become 0. Okay. After making the panel width as 0, I'm doing one thing. What you know? btn stop dot visible equals to true. I'm making it visible true. Even though you make it true, no use. No one can see now. Why? Panel width is 0. Yes or not? Now tell me the visibility is true. Will the event fire now? Tell me. Yes, the event should fire now. The event should fire now. Come on, let's see. So start. Now see, the visibility is true. Will the event fire? Yes. Is the visibility true? Yeah. Stop the escape here. When you click on escape, you'll see the button. See? Array should not see this button. So what to do? Again, reverse. Everything should be reverse engineered, guys. Are you clearer or not? Before you increase the width, make the visibility false. See, all the statements what you write in the start will be in the reverse order in the stop. They will be in the reverse order in the stop. First, you will stop the timer. Next, make the visibility as false and then increase the width of the screen. And then you will be increasing the width of the screen. Are you clear till now? Okay. Now you can see the slideshow playing. Okay, the slideshow is playing now. And once I click on the escape button, the slideshow has to stop there. Yes, hit the escape and the slideshow has to stop. The proof is the panel coming back. And you see now, you did not see the stop button. Fine. Still want here. I want it to full screen. I want it to be having the full screen. How can you get it full screen? How can I get it full screen is, look all of you. You go to the properties of the form. You'll be having a property called as window state. Maximized. Maximize means full screen. Minimize means minimize. You have maximum minimize button on your form now. Minimize means 2.6 in the taskbar. Maximize means full screen. It just goes to a full screen size. You want to set by default or you want to set it the start to switch is clicked on. Not by default. We want it only when the start slideshow button is clicked. We want it when the start slideshow button is clicked. Okay. Just come here. Watch. See, first panel width is 0. Button visibility true. Afterwards, I'm just going to write what this means form dot what the property window state is equals to form window state dot maximized. Form window state dot maximized. It is going to maximize the state of this. Maximized. Array maximized fine, but I don't want to see the borders and all the things here. Are you clear? I don't want to see the borders and all the things. Okay, we'll do that also. How? We have a property called as form border style. What to use? None here. None. You should use none. I already explained all these things to you. The day when I explained a form only, I shown you all these options to you. What is fixed single, what is fixed 3D, fixed dialogue. It will be changing you the icons and all. I shown you all. You did not practice. In this, we have an option called none. I need to use this particular option. What option? None. Test dot. What is that? Form border style is equals to. These are enumerated properties here. Both these are enumerated. A form border style is enum and form window state is also enum. Excuse me. These two are enums. Got it? Full screen. Now, when I click on escape, it stopped. But see, panel came all. But again, it should come to normal state again now. That all I said. Whatever you do in the start, you should reverse engineer back in the stop again. You need to reverse engineer it back in the stop again. In the stop, all the values should be reverse engineered. Whatever changes or whatever settings you have done, everything should be brought back to default settings again. Are you clear or not? Everything should be brought back to default settings. See, otherwise, see, I'm not able to just see the screen now. The minimizing and all the options are not there. Yes or not? So whatever values you have changed, all the values should be again set back to the default settings again. Okay. So guys, to do this, mainly there are three important settings what you just require to understand here. What are that? The width is set as 0, border style, window state. Again, coming back, all these three should be set back to its original again now. Are you getting my point? All these things should be set back to its original again. See, original values. See here, I've taken a default value as 365. Tomorrow sometime you go and make any changes now, you slightly increase the size of the panel or decrease the panel, this value won't change. Yes or not? I forgot about this. I modified in the runtime. It will be looking not looking good now. Suppose if you increase, you're designing something, so increase the panel size. Now it is 365, set to lesser size. Automatically what will happen? Some controls will go to height mode now. So should I set it 365 or old value? Old value. What is old value? That is what we need to identify and use here. So what you do is, before you're going to change all these values, store all the old values somewhere and again reset the old values back to the original again. Did you catch my point? So what I'm doing is, just all of you observe, I am going to declare a object array. With the size of 3. The size is 3. Okay, now is an object array. I just can't for a global declaration. Now, in the start button, before you are going to change the status of all the things, what you do is store all the values now. Old values of 0 is equals to what I'm storing, panel 1 dot width. I stored it. After storing it, I made the width as 0. Next, old values of 1 is equals to what I'm storing is dot form border style. I'm storing that. After storing that, I changed it off to none. Okay. Next, old values of 2 is equals to what? This dot form window state. This dot window state. That's all. This dot window state. I'm storing the old value. After storing the old value, I'm resetting the value with a new value. Did you understand me? All old values are stored in the array. Then I change the values. When you click to stop button, what you should do? All old values should be assigned back again. All the old values should be assigned back again. See here, it should not be 0. Sorry, it should not be 365. What it should be? Take the value from the array and assign. Okay, come on. How to assign? ARR of 0 should be assigned. ARR, what is the name? All values of 0 should be assigned. But there's an object array, remember, there's an object array, but here is a integer. So perform a conversion, int of, convert into int and assign. Next, same story. What is the second one? Border style. Okay, what to write? This dot form border style is equals to old values of 1. But remember, typecasting is required here also. Into form border style. And you are assigning a value of which type? Form border style type only. So it should be converted into form border style. Oh, braces. Next, this dot window state is equals to which type? Form window state of old values of 2. Suppose still you do some other settings also, do the same thing only, so that what will happen tomorrow if anything changed in the design, the same thing will be applied in the code also. Otherwise, tomorrow suppose that the width changed in the design and you come and change the code again now, that becomes a lengthy process. So that's why I captured all of them in an array and then use it the array values back again. Okay, run and see. Now it should run as expected now. Start, yeah, the full screen slideshow. When I use escape, what should happen? Everything should come to its original. It should stop and come back to the original state again. Check. Is that clear? Is how applications are developed? Yeah, we need to write, we need to think now. What should happen? Based on that, we'll be writing line by line of code. You see, nothing is rocket science. Only thing is, we need to understand the requirement correctly. If you understand the requirement correctly, we'll be forming up step by step. We just build up our code. That's it. Okay. And one more thing, guys, when I open my project, here, by default, if at all I click on this one, I get error. Why error? No images, there are no images present there. So that is the reason why by default when I open, I'm getting an error. So that's why in the load event, what I'm doing, initially, initially, previous button, next button, start slideshow button. All these three things, I'm just going to make them as enabled false, not visible false. What is that? Enabled false. So that you cannot click on the three buttons now. Is that clear? Enable false. You can't click on them. Now I'll select load images. I will come to here. Now the three buttons has to enable. Is it clear? After loading, three buttons has to enable. See, when to enable, see, you loaded all the images here and you made the first image selected also. Correct or not? Then you should write what? btn next dot enabled is equals to true. btn start dot enabled is equals to true. I'm setting the next button and the start button as true. So what about previous button? I did not do for previous button. Why? I'll tell you. The previous button is not in enabled state. Correct? Why? If the previous button is in enabled state, you will click on this. So once you click on this, error will come now. Yes or not? That's why it did not enable. Now, the task what I'm giving to you is write the logic for this now. What logic? When I click on the, see up to here what I shown you, everything is in the notes. Okay. Now this is the task for you. What is the task? When I click on the next button, immediately the previous button should enable. Are you clearer or not? When I click on the next button, immediately previous button should enable. And when I click on previous, we'll go to first image again now. Yes or not? Previous button should disable. Previous button should disable. Same as that. Look here. Where am I? Last but one. Click next. Where will I come? Last image. The next button should disable now. The next button should disable. And once you click on previous, immediately next button should enable. Are you clearer or not? Okay, be careful. Your logic is only for next and previous. I'll show you one more scenario also. You understood this one? Once you reach the first previous button should disable, and it is not first, it should enable. And once you reach the last, next button should disable, not next, it should enable. Okay. One more thing I'll show you. See, suppose I am here in the middle. Is both the buttons should be in the enable only now? Yes or not? Both buttons should be in the enable. Now what I'll do, directly I will select the first image. Then also it should disable previous. Not only when you click on next and previous. Did you understand me or not? Understand here, these are all the scenarios. What you generally users do? User is somewhere here. Straight away user selected first image. Array, when the user directly selected the first image, the previous should not be enabled now. It should disable now. Correct or not? Same way user can directly select last. This should be disabled. When to enable? Array, you're in the last year. Next is disabled. When to enable? When we click on previous. Correct? Not only when you click on previous. Directly if I select like this also it should enable. Understand? Why are you waiting to previous? I won't click previous. Directly go into bill. Then also it should enable. So two scenarios remember guys. Next previous also this should work. And based on my list box selection changed also it has to disable enable. Is it clear? Two places you need to implement this one. See, I never give you any task for you in the console application development. But here I'm just asking you to do. You're doing or not, I don't know. If you do, you will be able to answer your interviews. If you don't do, that's your problem. You're not an LKG kid to sit beside you and make you to do. That's your job. I'm giving all the tasks to you to do it. Earlier also I said you some few things to do. Are you clear? Okay, you're doing it or not is up to you. I can only tell you, do this or do this. If you don't do, I can't do anything. It's your problem. Am I clear? I said you all the scenarios to you. So based on that, the next previous button should be disabled and enabled, not visible false. It should be disabled, enabled. What is the property? Enabled property. Enabled is equals to true. Enabled is equals to false. How do you write the logic? You just implement the logic accordingly now. Is it clearer? Everything guys, what I explained you in the classroom is I have just already printed for you in the notes. Just a second. Yeah. This is thing here. I'm developing an image viewer application. So this is a code for developing an image viewer application. Add a new form in the project. Place a first add a panel, guys. First place a panel. Add a new form. What you'll do now? Place a panel control. Place a panel control on the form and set the dot property as right. So first do this, guys. What you'll do? First set the dot property for this panel as right now. Okay now? Now after that, what you'll do? You place a picture box control. This next thing what you do is place a picture box control. And for the picture box control, you set the dot property as fill. Be careful. This order is very, very important. Otherwise, the controls will overlap. The controls are going to overlap. So when you're setting it, be careful. First, what you're going to do? Panel. Afterwards, picture box. First, it should be panel, and afterwards, it should be the picture box. Okay. And afterwards, you set the size mode property, guys. Which one? Size mode. You need to set the size mode property. What the value you want? Stretch image. The size mode is stretch image. Now, after setting the size mode stretch image, design the panel. Design the panel that is present. That is present on the right hand side of the form as following. You have the panel on the right hand side, guys. So that panel, design it as following. What do you have? List box. Next is a list box, guys. Load images, previous, next and all. And here I very clearly mentioned you. Name the buttons as BTN load, BTN preview, BTN next, BTN start, BTN stop. Next, set the enabled property of true, next, and start button as false. The value should be false by default. Just now I shown you. Okay, what next? Set the visible property. Set the visible property of BTN stop as false. Array, for those three buttons, enabled false, but stop button, visible false. Is it clear? Okay, then go to properties of form. Then go to properties of form. And under its cancel button property, guys, I shown you just now. What is property? Cancel button property. Set the button as, select the button as BTN stop, which gets mapped to which key? Escape key of keyboard. This is going to map to the escape key of keyboard actually. Okay, what next? Add a folder browser dialog and the timer controls on the form. Set the interval property of the timer as 2991. Remember I explained you in the last class? 2991 and write the below code in code view. Yeah guys, after doing all these things, you're required to go to the code view and I first property settings here. Read each and everything carefully and do all the things accordingly. First, you're required to do the property settings carefully. All the property settings should be done very clearly. Okay. So once you are done with the property settings, next to the coding part. And this is all the coding what I just have. I imported a namespace called system.io. I imported a namespace called system.io. Why? A system.io namespace is basically for, I just used some class here. Which class? Directory class is what I used. And this class is defined in system.io namespace. And this is all the code you're required to write for load images. This is the code for load images. Yeah, this is a code for load images. Then list box, selected index changed. There is a code for the list box, selected index changed event. Next, previous button minus equals to 1. And here only you need to implement all the logic what I said you now. What? I explained you now. You need to go for enabling and disabling and all the code. You're just required to implement there. Okay. And this is for next button. Next. Timer tick. Timer tick event. That is simple code. What do you do? Timer tick event. Okay, item count. Yeah, just a minute. I'll not show you a small thing here. I forgot to explain about that. Watch it. I'm moving to this last image. I'm coming here. I click on start. Slideshow started. 3-4 images present there. That's all. I think some winter or something in the last image. Yeah, that is only the last image here. Internally, we read on the logic yesterday. When you reach the last, stop. Stop. Correct? Array, it should come to original state now. It should come to original state. Again, everything should come to original state. If it stops like this, what I think now, it is playing. What is happening? I don't know. Am I clear? So here exactly what you should write, you have written only stop, but you're required to write all this code, guys. What code? All this code should be present here. We have only one line, but all these 4 lines also should be copied here now. Code duplication. It's a code duplication. One way to avoid this is write this code in a method and call the method in both the 2 places. Write the code in a method and call it in both the 2 places. That way, you can put in a method and call the method in both the 2 places. Nothing new, you can do that. Second option is without writing a separate method. See here, what I'm doing here. btn stop means I'm referring to which button? Stop button. Dot. There is a method called as perform click. What will it do? When you call this method, automatically it will fire the click event of stop button. Once the click event of the stop button fires, this logic executes automatically. Is that clear? This is implicit invoking of the event. What event? Perform click. You read the message, it will show you all descriptions here. Generate say, it will generate the click event for the button. Which button? Stop button. You written there clearly now, btn stop dot. For stop button, it will do that. Okay, watch it now. Just a minute. All this takes a lot of time. I am selecting sunset, start. Is the last image? Is that clear? It just came back to the original state again. Everything came back to the original state. Next, start slideshow. Same way, you have stop slideshow. And remember to do this on the top first, you declared one array. You declare one array on the top. What is that? Object array. You declared a object array with values what? Values as 0. Okay. Sorry. With the size of 3. An object array with the size of 3 is what you have just used. Just a second, please. Okay, fine. This is all about till now I explained about working with various controls, guys. We're just been seeing so many controls here. How to use those controls is what I just demonstrated to you. Okay, so number of controls are there, and we are able to work with all those controls. We are able to work with all the appropriate controls. The next thing, what I'm just wanted to show you is how to create a menu for an application. And here I given an explanation for accept and cancel buttons. Explain about accept and cancel buttons now. Accept button will map to enter key. Cancel button will map to escape key. Okay, read the description carefully. That. Okay, so the next thing what I'm just going to demonstrate for you here is about creating menu for an application. Menu. Hey, you guys, you know about menu. Yeah, menus are very, very important for every application. Every application will have a menu. Yes or not? Actually, what does menu contain? Menu contains menu items. Under menu, you take a file menu, you have some menu items under that. And these menu items are basically used to do some actions. These menu items will basically perform some actions actually. Now talking about these menus and menu items, generally you see every application will have menus. The reason why we use these menus is because that is the most beautiful option that is available, where we can provide multiple features with very less space to consume. That is, we just provide multiple features with very less space to consume. The space is going to be very, very less consumption and the features are going to be more. So more features with less space. What do you mean by that? What I mean is, menu is not, a menu item is very similar to, a menu item is very similar to a button, guys. A button, menu item, both are same only. When you click on a button, some action performs. Same way you click on a menu item, also something performs. You go to file menu and click on save. File saves. Can't we do the same thing with the save button? Tell me. Already we saw a save image button. So buttons and menu items are same. Suppose in my application, I wanted to provide 100 different functionalities. For 100 functionalities, I'm using 100 buttons. Every button will do some different thing. 100 buttons on the screen. Your complete screen is occupied with buttons only now. There is space for you to work with. Yes or not? So that is the place where the menus will play a very crucial role for us. What's it? It will provide you more number of features with a very less space consumption. Take Visual Studio. Go to File menu. Count the number of options you have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 options are there. Same way go to Edit menu. See there, so many options are present under Edit menu also. View menu, Zip menu, Project menu, Build menu, Debug menu. Count all these things here, more than nearly between 100 to 150 number of options will be there. If I want to do all these things with buttons and place that many buttons on the screen, my screen will contain only buttons now. Where is the place to work here? All buttons only. Yes or not? So that is the place where the menus will play a very important role for us. What's it? Very less space it is consuming and providing you more and more functionalities to you. That is the main reason why every application for sure will use menus. Okay. How to create a menu for an application? How to create a menu for an application? Okay. Let's try to understand about it. What? Creating a menu for an application. Let me add a form. Yeah, I'm adding a form now. Now, on this form, I wanted to add a menu. I just want to add a menu. If at all you want to add a menu, the first thing you're required to do is you're required to place a control on this called as menu strip. What is the menu strip? Actually, you see guys, these are all menus present here. And where they're present means that basically it is called as a menu strip or a menu bar. We call it as a menu strip, a menu bar. and this menu strip or a menu bar is having dock top, that's why automatically when you add that will come and sit on the top of your screen now. Okay, let me show you. Come to studio, go to toolbars, and here you'll be finding a tab called as menus and toolbars tab. Menus and toolbars tab. Did you find it? See? Add it. Now that comes now and sits on the top of the screen. Here is your menu strip. Okay, not visible now. That it's a background color for this. It's very light, guys. Back color. Can you see that? The dark gray. That is a menu strip. Okay. So first what I added is a menu strip on my screen. I just added a menu strip control on my screen. Okay. You added. What next? I want to add some menus on it now. I want to add some menus. Where you add a menu? Left hand side or right hand side or middle? Where? Left hand side. Menus are always in the left side. It comes from the left side. Now do one thing. Very simple process here. Go and click on the left hand side corner of your menu step. A text box will appear there asking you type here. What to type? The name of the menu. What I want is a file menu. Observe, guys. Okay, file menu. Edit menu. View menu. Closed offer. Shit. Don't know what happened. It's not saved. Not saved. Menu strip. Yeah. File menu. Edit menu. View menu. Help menu. Like this, I'm just trying to add some menus on this now. Fine. It looks good. Is that clear? So that's the menu. Like this, a very simple process. Now, the next thing what I want to do is under this menu, I wanted to add a menu item. Under this menu, I wanted to add a menu item. I just want to add a menu item under this menu now. Is this clearer or not? What I want to add is a menu item. How to add? Very simple. Click on the menu. It will show a text box below now. Type here. Just start entering it. New. open, save, save as. Okay. Exit. Same way under edit. Undo. Redo. Cut. Shit. Don't know why it's closing off. Need to do all again. Shit. Lost everything. Hey, what's happening? Is it closing? Where's the designer? Okay. And a file menu, I'm just adding new, open, save, shit. Closed off. What is wrong with this? Okay. Do one thing. I'll better go with framework. Yeah. Core is a nuisance with Windows applications. Save as, exit, undo, redo, cut, copy, yeah, just added up few options here. So I added 4 menus, and under the 4 menus, I added a set of menu items. Okay. Say, already you know that every control is a class. What did you add first? Menu strip. Menu strip is a class. What the class name? Menu strip only. Menu strip is a class. What the class name? Menu strip only. And on the menu strip, you added what? Menus. And under the menus, you added menu items, correct? Menu item. Both these two corresponding, both these two are going to be same class. Menu strip, both are going to be same class only. Class is same only. What is the class? Tool strip menu item. The class name is tool strip menu item. Means when you added the 4 menus, and when you added all the menu items, some 10 or 12 menu items we added, for all the things, it is going to create you the instance of the same class. What is the class? Tool strip menu item. But the only thing is, remember the naming convention is different here. What is that? If you add three buttons on the screen, what are the names? Button 1, button 2, button 3. If you add three text boxes, text box 1, text box 2, text box 3. But when you come to here, you added 4 menu items first. First, you added 4 menu items. The 4 are instance of the class toolstip menu item. But the names are not a toolstip menu item 1, toolstip menu item 2, toolstip menu item 3 like this. The naming conventions are different. The name is file toolstip menu item, edit toolstip menu item, view toolstip menu item, and help toolstip menu item. Go to property windows and check. Watch, guys. The naming policy is different because totally, guys, some 15 to 16 instances are created. Now 1, 2, 3, 4 names will be confusing. Tomorrow you have a big menu with 150 items now. 1, 2, 3, 4 will be confusing now. So for that reason, what it will do is it will take the text of the menu item and it will just use a file toolstip menu item. Same way, see what is this? Exit toolstip menu item. Class is same only. What is class? Toolstip menu item is a class. This one, both are same class. What is the class? Toolstip menu item. But the naming policy is going to be different. Are you clear? Okay, adding a menu is very simple here. Adding a menu is very, very simple. Okay, guys, watch it. You added a menu now. You just created a menu. You added a menu now. Okay. Now, after adding a menu, what you just wanted to do is actually in the runtime, run this. Framework projects will be very, no problems will come with this. With the core number of times we faced also property window not getting loaded and all. With framework, you won't face any problem. Okay, loaded. Menu is there now. I just have a menu. And you know that menu's response for alt keys. When you just hold the alt key, immediately menu will be responding for the alt key. Open your Visual Studio. You have so many menus there now. But see, when you hit the alt key, it'll highlight you the character what is responding for the alt key. See? And that happens when I hold the alt key here. When I lose it again, when I hold the alt key, then it will show you. But it is not happening in case of our menu. Right? It is not happening here, guys. It's not happening when I hit the alt key. That's not showing me anything now. Okay? If you want to map, if at all you just want to map anything to the alt key like this. If at all you just want to map anything to the alt key like this. If you just wanted to map. Okay. So suppose I want to map something to the alt key. Just a minute. Format menu. View menu. Help menu. Under format, what we have? Font and code wrap. Under view, we will find status bar. Whether you want a status bar or not. Under help, you'll find about. Yeah. Now tell me, what character should be mapped with alt for file? Yeah. Edit. E. Format. F is for file user. Again, you are link for format also. How can you use both? O. Not F. It is O. View. V. Help is H. Okay. So basically, how to do that? Very simply, when you're typing the text, you type the text file something. When you're typing the text only, you can do that. What is it? What is the character you want to map to the alt key? Before the character, type ampersand there. That's all. See, when I'm typing only, you can do that. I not do that. So I'm saying rename. When you type, you want F for alt key mapping? ampersand before the character. That's all. See that showing you? Showing you? That's what actually, because you typed off, you can even go to property window, and the property window also under text property, you type edit there. You can type here ampersand E. For format, ampersand should be present before O, not before F. If it is before F, conflict occurs before O. For view, before V. For help, before H. You can see now. In the runtime, by default, it won't show you the alt keys to you. But when I press the alt, got it? When you leave it again, alt, and you see alt O, format menu, alt V, alt F, automatically it responds to. Okay, next. See, you have shortcuts. What shortcuts? For new, Control N, for save, Control S. You just have the shortcut keys. Huh? So if at all you just want shortcut keys here, if at all you just want shortcut keys here, okay, we can bind the shortcut keys here also. Just a minute. See, a menu item is just like a button. Default event is click event only. Check it if you want. Default event is click event only. Write it. Message box dot show event occurred. You guys can watch. Run. Go to file menu. New. Just a button only. There's nothing to you to explain for logic writing. How to create them is only what you require to understand. File new. Yeah. Is it clear for all of you? Okay. Now look at this one. What is that? When you go to file menu and click on the new button, I'm just going to get that event occurred. I'm just going to get the appropriate message. Event occurred. But see, look at this. All of you carefully. I want this code to execute when Control N. When I say Control N also, I want the code to execute. So what to do? You need to use a shortcut key now. How to use shortcut key? Go to properties of the new menu item. You'll find a property. None. Use the drop down. See now. Which one is the shortcut? Control, Alt, Shift, because some different keys will be there. Control, Alt, Shift, that is checkbox. You can have multiple options. Sometimes say Control plus Shift plus A. You can just use. What do you want? Control N. Okay. Select Control here. And in the key, select N. Are you clear? Binding has been done. Same way for save. Control. Yes. For open. Control O. Same way, do it for all the remaining also. Control X for close and everything. Say Control N. Got it? I don't require to write anything here. Microsoft has given everything to you. Only thing is just to use the properties to. That's all. Creator. Next. See, sometimes I may want to create some sub-elements under that. What is that sub-element? See, if you go to edit menu here, or if you go to view menu here, under view menu or file menu, go to file menu, new. Under new again, you have some options. See, add a project, add a file, add a repository, or something. It is asking for you like this. Sub-elements will be there. You too can do that. You too can do the appropriate thing. Whatever you just want, you can add. Okay, suppose here I'm just going to add something called apps, applications, something. like an applications. If I click on this, it has to open me a calculator. Array, how to open it is secondary, but see that the element what we just have. When I click on this, it has to open me Paint. So these are the sub-elements now. So when you in the runtime, you just come here, you click on that, something should execute now. You don't require to write any logic specially for that. Just to see, double click, it has taken to Paint menu item. Simple and Paint event occurred something. There is no special logic. The hierarchy is not important. You place it anywhere you want. Go there, click on that, click on this, say that. It's as simple as it. You are not at all bothered about the hierarchy. Where is it present? You don't require to refer to that. You straight away can go and write the logic. You add in any way you want, it works. Okay now? Fine. Now we had some menu items here. How to add the menu items? See, basically these are called menus and these are called as what? Menu items. But don't forget, menu item. Both of them are instances of the same class. Which class? Postgres menu item is a class. That is a class under which they are defined actually. Okay, that is a class. And all these are instances of that particular class. You can add your menu item in any level, not at all a problem. Okay, why I'm telling is the same code if at all I'm doing with Java applications. If I want to write the code for this Paint, if I want to write the code for this Paint here, the hierarchy is important here. I require to first refer to format, under that applications, under that Paint, and then I should write the logic. In .NET, we don't have that problem at all. Whatever you're referring, you can straight away go and write off the logic for that. Hierarchy is not at all important for you in the .NET. Is that clear? Let's stop it here, guys. We'll continue tomorrow.
Recording stopped.